Hey everybody, it's Ori from AstroWeb, and I wanted to go fairly briefly over the WordPress admin area or the dashboard, or just kind of a brief idea of what's going on in WordPress fairly quickly. So what you need to do is, of course, after you install WordPress or you have a blog, this is our sample blog for now. You can see a pretty basic theme, posts and links and everything like that. And I just wanted to kind of show you the admin area with a live example to kind of explain things in brief. Okay, so excuse me. So what you have here is when you log in, you have the dashboard. You can kind of rearrange the ideas, but I won't get too much into it. So, comments, creating a new, adding some media, whatever. On the left-hand side is really where you're going to have every single thing you need to do. And some of them, some of the tabs are more popular to use, some are less, but we'll go over them one by one. So I'm going to go here. Under dashboard, you have the updates. Updates basically refer to both your a WordPress site and mainly plugins. So if I click on that, you'll be able to see that WordPress is suggesting that there's a new version 3.6.1, and it's also showing me updates for themes and for plugins, stuff like that. So here's where you kind of manage it. You can also go to the plugins area right here, right on the left-hand side. Okay. The next one is the post. That's probably the most popular area for a blog. This is where you can manage, you can edit, add, and just create posts in general. So a post is basically a blog post. It's an article. It's a topic you're writing about. So what you want to do is if you have a new post, you just click on Add New, or you edit a specific one and you go there. So I'm going to click on Add New, and we'll go over it quickly. Okay, and just for the example, this specific thing is a post. Okay, so here's your post title, your actual post content, images, and then we'll go over the rest. Okay, so this is the basic template you have. This is the title right here, the title of the post. This is the actual content, and you can obviously include code. You can embed stuff, put images, embed the video, stuff like that, tag stuff. And if you select here on the top, this tab text, this is actually HTML text. If you click on visual, it'll let you kind of do an easier thing, so you can kind of type in text and bold it and just do it in an easier manner. So on the right hand side is where you're going to either save or preview or set the visibility of the post, and where you actually publish it or you edit it later on. So you can do things such as set it private with a password. You can stick it to the front page so it doesn't always go down. You can set it to post on a different date, maybe in a day from now, or maybe backwards, stuff like that. If you go down below to this next one, this is where you tag the categories, so you can set up different themes around articles. So maybe one is talking about, let's say, the weather. So all the articles that are related to weather, you would do that. Or one is related to, let's say, infographics, just like we wrote here. So you do that. So in addition to category tags, which are really a main theme, you always want to include on this box a specific tags. So what that is are either a word or a short phrase or multiple of them that describe your article. So in the case of our example here, Contact Form 7, we included some kind of technical talk about this specific product, Contact Form 7, and Google Analytics. So as a tag, I might include something like Analytics and then Contact Form 7. And then I would just click on Add. So you really don't want to have too many tags. Typically, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 maximum. You don't want to overload it with tags. And then the rest is just, we don't have to explain right now. So just to kind of show on the main example, when we created the article, we set a category. Let's see what the category we set. I don't recall it right now. Okay, so actually I'm going to have to check because I don't really remember. Okay, so contact form 7. If I do it, I actually select it under the tips, right? So we categorize it as a tip, and we included these four tags. So if you notice, right here, it says this entry was posted in tips, which is my categories, and here are all the tags. So these basically kind of link, they create category pages and they link all of the relevant articles together. So you always want to try to be on the same line of thought when you create the categories, especially and also for tags. Okay, so that's basically it for the actual article. Let's go on. So again, posts we've pretty much covered. Either we can edit or add, or we can manage categories and tags. The next kind of a tab we're talking about is media. This is typically related to the images that you upload. Either you attach them on articles, or you just want to upload them to the server to use them. Pretty straightforward. I won't get into it. Add new, edit, manage, tag them, stuff like that. The next tag are the links. So if you have a blog roll or a link section on your website, which in our case, let me go back to the homepage of the blog, is this blog roll section. So if you want to include external links, maybe your favorite blogs or links to relevant pages to be on all of your pages or some of them, you go to the link section and you add a new one. Pretty straightforward, very few. What is the name you want? What is the address, and any additional information. Pretty straightforward. So the next tab I wanted to go over is called Pages. Pages are different from blog posts. Posts are actual, 1, 2, 3 on the list. Pages are actually main pages, like an About Us, Contact Us, or anything relevant. So if I click on this About on the live site, you'll be able to see some description we wrote. So if I go to About, I can edit it here or create a new one. Pretty similar to the post, you have your title, your content in the middle. You don't have tags or categories because they're actual pages, so they're its own entity. And again, you have the publish time, you have a previewing, stuff like that. Pretty straightforward. So let's go on to the next one, comments. So if you have, not on pages but on blog posts, if you enabled comments, you can see, let me go to this specific blog post, you can see that people can include comments. And what I did specifically is anytime someone submits a comment on the settings, which we'll get to later on, you can approve them so you don't have spam and you don't have people just writing nonsense and whatever. So here are our comments. This Peter, P-E-T-R, wrote a comment on that article, and then we can respond and do all that stuff. So pretty straightforward. You want to go and either approve or disapprove specific comments and reply to them, and you always want to engage with your readers. So pretty straightforward. Here you can see a lot of it's spam, and we didn't include any kind of spam plugins. So all of these I'm basically going to trash and delete and disapprove and mark as spam, basically. So next one is the Appearance tab. We're just going to go on to the next one. Appearance tab is related really to the appearance of your site. What theme you're using. So a theme is really like your design. So right now we're using one of the default themes, 2011, that came with the latest or the before latest WordPress version. You can buy themes, you can browse. Here you would actually install new ones, so I can search for something related to me, maybe related to photos if I need a portfolio. You can preview them, see them before you install, and then install now will replace your old theme with the newest one. This is basically our main theme, pretty straightforward. The next one are widgets. Okay, so widgets, depending on how your theme is set up, will include different functionality. A lot of the times on basic themes, they'll include the functionality on your sidebars, this area, the archives, the blog roll, the tags. So if you notice here, archives, blog roll, and tags. If I go here, you can see on the sidebar, again on the right-hand side, that I included the archives, I included the links, and I included the tag cloud, exactly what I have here. If I want to switch the order, I'll just drag them. If I want to remove them, I'll just drag them to the left. And if I want to include anything else, you can use these built-in things, um, these built-in widgets that will help you. And if you really just want to include like HTML text, you just drag this text to the right-hand side, and you can include like any kind of HTML that you want. So maybe like an image, for example, let's say images or whatever. And then you click on save, and it should load. So let's just do this test. Let's save, and then I'm going to reload my page, and I'll just show you that the text will come here, right here. So you can include an HTML text. Very useful for many cases. Okay. The next thing are menus. So again, depending on the theme you have, menus will allow you to create either like navigational menus or certain things depending on your code. This theme doesn't use menus, so I'm just going to skip it, but it is very useful for many certain themes. The next one, again, theme options, is only tied into your exact theme. It may or may not be on on your menu. This may not even be available if your theme doesn't include certain coding for it, if it wasn't set up. We'll just skip basically. Header, same thing, background, and then editor basically lets you edit the actual theme PHP files and CSS. So if you need to make a specific edit to, let's say, your CSS, which is right here, you can actually go save it without going to the FTP. Very nice and useful thing. So the next tab are plugins. Plugins basically are different packages of code that expand the functionality. So maybe you have a plugin to speed up the website, or maybe you have a nice photo gallery, right? Or maybe you have a nice like sharing a plugin or stuff like that. All you need to do is basically, if you don't code your own, of course, go to add new, search for stuff. Let's say I want a photo gallery. So I'm going to do here photo gallery. And let's say you're looking for something. Always look at the ratings. Make sure they're compatible with your specific version of WordPress. Just click just click on details. Look at the descriptions. Look at all these tabs. Look at screenshots if it fits you. And if so, you can install them and test them out. So once you install them, they should be in the installed plugins. You can always deactivate, delete them, edit, stuff like that. So it's pretty straightforward. The next tab is the user tab. Again, it'll just include the users that are allowed to log into your WordPress. So this is our admin. This is mine. I can go and edit the password, include maybe some bio information, stuff like that. So here's where you edit your password. Pretty straightforward. Next one are tools. Really, the only use we use it for importing and exporting posts and pages. In order to import and export, you just have them right here. Pretty straightforward. The next one and the last tab is the settings tab. Here you're going to configure quite a few things for your site. What is your site URL? What is your site, your title tag, your tagline? What is the date format? All these kind of configuration things, right? What is the email you want to get your admin is using? I'm going to go with the next one. So writing under the settings, the writing really includes formatting, kind of default post, basically post information. Pretty straightforward. Typically, I don't change much of this. The reading page includes things like how many pages a post you want to have on each page, so you don't have to, your users don't have to click on next and next and next to view the additional posts. Again, pretty straightforward. Reading also has one more thing. If you want the search engines to index it, if you want to include a meta robots index or not, of course, in most cases, unless you're developing the site, you always want to have it to index, for the search engines to index your information. The next one is discussion. That's tied into all of the features of how you want people to comment on your site. Just a quick tip. You typically want to have this administrator always must approve a comment so you don't get spam and all this bad stuff and whatever. So pretty straightforward. Media are all the defaults for how you want to upload images and what you want to do with actual media that you upload to the site, sizes, stuff like that. Permalinks are how the URLs will look. So if I click on a post, I can see my URL is a nice, this is actually long, but it's used in text, and it's not something like question mark ID equals post number 6554. So you can kind of set that up, use the sample, it's pretty straightforward. And that's pretty much it for kind of the main idea. I hope you enjoyed this very quick, brief outline of the entire WordPress admin. If you have detailed questions or specific questions about very specific things, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments, or you can contact me through my website. And really hope you like this, and we'll be expanding in the near future about more specific WordPress functionality. Thank you for listening and spending the time just listening to this video and watching it. I really hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be happy again to answer any questions. Thank you. Blog. This is where you can manage, you can edit, add, and just create posts in general. So a post is basically a blog post. It's an article. It's a topic you're writing about. So what you want to do is, if you have a new post, you just click on Add New, or you edit a specific one and you go there. So I'm going to click on Add New, and we'll go over it quickly. Okay, and just for the example, this specific thing is a post. Okay, so here's your post title, your actual post content, images, and then you have the updates. Updates basically refer to both your a WordPress site and mainly plugins. So if I click on that, you'll be able to see that WordPress is suggesting that there's a new version 3.6.1, and it's also showing me updates for themes and for plugins, stuff like that. So here's where you kind of manage it. You can also go to the plugins area right here, right on the left-hand side. Okay. The next one is the post. That's probably the most popular area for a blog. Hey everybody, it's Ori from AstroWeb, and I wanted to go fairly briefly over the WordPress admin area, or the dashboard, or just kind of a brief idea of what's going on in WordPress fairly quickly. So what you need to do is, of course, after you install WordPress or you have a blog, this is our sample blog for now. You can see a pretty basic theme, posts and links and everything like that, and I just wanted to kind of show you the admin area with a live example to kind of explain things in brief. Okay, so excuse me. So what you have here is, when you log in, you have the dashboard. You can kind of rearrange the ideas, but I won't get too much into it. So, comments, creating a new, adding some media, whatever. So on the left-hand side is really where you're going to have every single thing you need to do. And some of them, some of the tabs are more popular to use, some are less, but we'll go over them one by one. So I'm going to go here under dashboard. We'll go over the rest. Okay, so this is the basic template you have. This is the title right here, the title of the post. This is the actual content, and you can obviously include code. You can embed stuff, put images, embed the video, stuff like that, tag stuff. And if you select here on the top, this tab text, this is actually HTML text. If you click on visual, it'll let you kind of do an easier thing, so you can kind of type in text and bold it and just do it in